What's up, guys? Sub-Zero here, back for another VOD review. Today, VOD reviewing Dishsoap, another game from his crazy run the other day, and we got a little spice on it. I got my Halloween costume on. I'm not somebody who here. I'll give you the full look at it. Look, I got the belt thingy as well. I got the two sweatbands. It's got the thingy on the back. I have the foot thingies that you're supposed to put these on your feet and like walk around in these, but like I think I might need to wear shoes, so I'm gonna bring those with me. But I got something to go to later today, so I was like, you know what, let's record the VOD in the costume. I'm Krillin, obviously. I gotta rep a bald king on Halloween someday we'll get to the Saitama costume. This was 30 bucks on Amazon, so it was a lot easier than, I mean, hey, maybe there's a $30 Saitama costume on Amazon, but look, we'll get there when we get there. In any case, cool opener from Dishsoap here. He's got a lot of the Blaster Vanguard stuff if he wants to play towards that. Is going to pick up the Jace as well. All right, first augment here, certainly not going to be press the attack, certainly not going to be Scapegoat. Raining Gold is a very solid, just generic option. So I think that would obviously just be the pickup here. I don't really think there's any, obviously it's not going to be Sweet Tooth here. Though for some reason he's thinking hard on this. I don't know. Whoa. I guess his idea was LDP. I don't know what the idea was here, but he rerolls and takes Portable Forge here. So he ends up not ending up taking that. But okay. We can take something that's really good for this Reroll setup, though I don't think that I don't actually know what you really want. Let's do a stats check here, because I'm actually not familiar. If we wanted to play for like Reroll here, and we were to go for like a I don't like that they added 4-star, because that just ends up making stuff really annoying. And we look at Ornn artifacts. Mana Zane looks really good. Loons looks good. DFG looks good. Snipers does not look very good. Blighting Jewel looks terrible on Hui. Okay, so we don't really have anything great onto Hui here. So I'm curious to see. I mean, I guess you would take Forbidden Idol if you really wanted to angle this, and you'd throw that onto Mordekaiser. Looks like he's just going to angle the Blighting Jewel, though. Obviously not going to be a Hui game after looking at the stats, but Hui's going to hold on to it decently. He can make the Blighting Jewel, make an Ionic Spark, and this is just going to be a solid opener. And we're going to play towards, I guess, Blighting Jewel Karma. I don't know how good it is on like Rise or anyone else. You can also, if you're ever curious, once again, explore Blighting Jewel. Let's just look at some units. Yeah, it looks like it sucks on Rise, so it's only really good on Karma. And oh yeah, and Nora if you can get really late game, but obviously that's hard to play towards. So I imagine this will be a Blighting Jewel Karma game, but we'll see as the game gets further on. Definitely have the potential to make 10 gold here, so we'll see. I imagine you would just make it here and lose the Jace pair, though it is a Jace 2 on this board. Maybe he's actually not going to sell off this Jace, and he's just going to hold on to it and pay the gold for it. It is the next in. This is always a big question in TFT, is are you going to hold your next in if it prevents you from making 10 gold? And I think Dishsoap, because he knows that it's a Jace 2 and that it's going to be such a spike on this board, especially if he keeps winning, I think it might be yes. Yeah, it's going to be yes. Second question is, are we going to level in this spot here? It's a big upgrade on our board. It could, potentially catapult us to a 5 streak. He's definitely pre-leveled, and he's scouting the lobby. There's some weak boards and some strong boards out there. I think there's maybe 1 or 2 boards where you would really like this level, so he is going to make the level. Just play very good tempo TFT. It's kind of funny. At the beginning of the set and the end of set, this type of TFT is really good. Beginning of set, obviously, because everyone's getting their bearings. They don't know what like the best comps are. And so just playing really good tempo, strongest board TFT, win streaking is always going to make the game easy for yourself. And then late in the set, he's playing in these lobbies, which like, are a little bit weaker than the lobbies when we're really in the thick of it. A lot of the really strong players are either in-house scrimming or just, I mean, they're mostly in-house scrimming. I would say at this point, they're not just queuing up solo queue games, because there's not a ton of people on solo queue. Pick up the belt as well here, I guess, for the Nashor's Tooth would be the idea. I imagine blue buff Nashor's Blighting Jewel would be really good, and you just apply it on everybody. And yeah, he is just gonna make the Nashor's here and pick up the Hui too, which is nice. But yeah, once again, like we're in this spot where we're playing against people who Dishsoap probably, in his head, he's like, I'm better than most of the people in this lobby. Obviously, we have people like Robovan, like Riveting, RAT Shaco. Like, these are strong players. Nakrak, I know I've seen that name as well. So, like, they're definitely good players in this lobby. But when you think you are stronger than most people in the lobby, you do get to just play really strong tempo like this if you have a good opener. And usually it works out pretty well, and it's working well for Dishsoap here. We might have a 5 streak here. So, yeah, you cannot be upset about this spot. Doing a lot of scouting, which, you know, you'll love to see it. You'll love to see it. Dishsoap knows his spot. He knows what he's doing here, so he's just making sure he has good positioning versus these players. He's going to make the 20 gold by selling the Bard. And, ooh, this is an Ari too. This board's actually one of the scarier boards. We'll see if maybe an itemization diff can be good for us and the fact that we have a Jace too. But yeah, this is going to be a close fight. Ari cast there. We should be fine here. A second Ari cast is going to be a bit scary. Yeah, that was a close fight. I mean, honestly, it goes to show why Dishsoap held on to this Jace too, and why he opted to play it. If he didn't have Jace 2 there, he would have absolutely lost that fight. So paid a little bit gold earlier, didn't make his first 10 that early, but he used it to make that Jace 2 and played the Jace 2 on this board early, and now his board's looking really good. There is half the blue buff, which I have to imagine we're digging for. Oh, this is actually awkward because you really want blue buff. I think it's leagues better than Adaptive Helm, but we are on a 5 streak here, so I'm really curious to see how Dishsoap wants to play this out. We also don't have the most obvious addition here. He's just going to play the Twitch too. I think that makes a lot of sense. And yeah, he's going to slam the tier and the cloak, but he's not going to make Adaptive Helm, even though you really want to slam here. You're on a 5 streak, and if almost any other item, I think Dishsoap would be down to make here. But the fact of the matter is, we need to get to blue buff for this Karma. It's going to be such an increase in DPS, especially with the Nashor's Tooth, which is giving us all this attack speed to work with. You really, really, really want to get to a blue buff here. All right, next augment here. I mean, none of these are looking great. I guess you can take crash test dummies. I guess if he's playing towards like warriors and Karma, he could take Unleash the Beast. I would just take something that buys more time for Karma to spread her ability, but we'll see here. He's really looking at Unleash the Beast because you can just throw this onto a Warwick too. If you ever make another one, it could end up onto the other guy. Oh, Crown Guard. I just like Crash Test here. Yeah, I think Crash Test is solid. And Hui too is so good as well. Honestly, I mean, we were talking about potential level 9 stuff. This could be a fast 9 game from Dishsoap. He also opts to play the Sugarcraft now. I'm not sure why he played the Twitch. I mean, this guarantees that he can make gold, but I think he would always make gold here if he won the fight anyway, though this is a really close fight. Oh my god. But I was talking about playing around Nora. I think theoretically you could fast 9 into Nora this game. I don't think it's that crazy. And he is also just gonna, at this point, opt to just play the double Swain. He thinks that's strongest board. Makes sense. It's benefiting from Frost, benefiting from Shapeshifter, and also kind of like I talked about with the crash test, we don't really need duo carries here. We just need extra tankiness on our board at this point, honestly. Like if we buy enough time, this Blighting Jewel is just going to kill everyone, especially once we find that first Karma. So why do we really care about playing for a strong front line? Or a strong front line is very good, but like strong front line carries, like with the Sterax, you don't care that much about that. And then as far as playing units on your board, playing the double Swain, just always think about what does your board actually want in a spot like this. Also, I'm seeing a lot of Witchcraft Spatch, which is scary. Blue buff, of course, the pickup here, very, very good for Dishsoap that he can pick that up, because, if there's someone else in the lobby who wanted to take that, that would be very scary. We do have the Karma already. I wonder when you decide to play this. Is it just now? Because she does so well with the Blighting Jewel. I think this makes a lot of sense. And he just decides to use the remover here so that he can still hold on to the Hui because it's just a good unit on his board. But yeah, I think this makes perfect sense. He also does end up getting Chrono in, which is pretty nice. And she's going to get so many casts off with this blue buff and the Nashers and the Blighting Jewel that Chrono must go insane here because we're going to be proccing that just so quickly here. We are fighting a really, really scary Jax 3, but oh my god. I mean, the Karma, yeah, the Karma just chews through him. She's stacking that damage over time up onto him, so it makes a lot of sense. There's a Nico that we can end up playing. In Dishsoap's opinion, that's slightly better than the Jace here. I think that makes sense. Once again, from the perspective of looking for more frontline, you don't really need that much. Jace is like a little bit more damage, and Nico's a bit more frontline, especially with the CC on her cast. So I think this makes sense. And yeah, I mean, the spot looks fantastic for Dishsoap, especially if he can pick up this final win here for the 100 streak. It's just, man, how did he do like every song? But I mean, he played the early game so well. He just played really, really clean, good early game, slammed the items that made sense, held on to the items that made sense, sold the units that made sense, but also held on to the units that made sense. I don't know. I think he played it so well. He is going to put into Planner his idea for the board here. I'm curious to see what he ends up playing, because we already have a lot of good pieces of a board. Like, you could just go 9 almost. You really need to find like one thing. I mean, honestly, this Cassiopeia could be one of those things. He is going to roll on A tier just with the idea that he needs to find more stuff to make his board actually good. I think this makes sense. He's close to the board being good, but he does need a few more things. He also ends up picking up a Morello here, just a very easy slam because we don't have that heal cut yet, so this makes sense. He didn't end up getting his his positioning. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter because the dummy's gonna jump forward with crash test. Though, why did that dummy? Did that dummy just like get bugged out and it didn't jump forward? That was weird. That there was one still on our front line. All right, last augment here. I mean, mentorship's okay if we can get some 5 hosts to play around. I don't know. Like, we already have the karma, so reinforcement is actually like lower value than it would be if we didn't already have karma. I mean, keepers theoretically is not that bad here. Ooh, magic. Okay, he's just gonna take the reinforcement here and just dig. Hopefully find something good. I mean, a TK2. There's a lot of frontline. It doesn't exactly fit with our board yet, though, so he's going to skip over it, continue rolling down. There's another TK2, and he hits a Melio and a Zerath in shop here. So yeah, now at this point, he's like, okay, fine. Now that I have all of this stuff, now that I have the Zerath, I am going to play around this. I think this makes a lot of sense for Dishsoap. It's kind of makes sense as well to continue rolling until, you know, he wasn't really incentivized to play Arcana when he first saw the TK, so he was like, I'll just keep rolling, looking for something else. But now he's actually really incentivized to play around this Arcana. He does have 4 Arcana if he wants to play it, but the question is, what do we want to cut out? Yeah, he can get the Zillion in, he can get all this in. I think this looks really, really nice. The question is, yeah, I mean, the hard part is, like, the units that he wants to fit in there are really, really nice. The downside is that he's just got all these 2 stars right now, right? It's really, really hard to cut a Vex too. And a Swain too, but maybe his idea is that this is going to be like the cap for the board later. Also, another win here. I mean, at this point, especially, you know, thinking about it more though, maybe reinforcement makes a lot of sense because it means that we don't really have to roll that deep, so we can just find, like, this was fantastic. We found the TK2, and then we're just using that to catapult us to level 9. I imagine we'll take a Gargoyle here just to finish a Tom Kench item. It's not like the best item on Tom Kench of all time, but it's good enough. And you know, a frontline item is a frontline item, so I think it's solid. He's also going to opt to sell the Melio here, saying, I don't really care to play it in this spot. I have 3 items on both of my carries, so he's really not going to do that much for me. He's going to itemize these random guys. Wow, he's still rolling here. This is interesting. And is going to opt to just take the leadership here and make the Tom Kench bigger. I mean, it makes sense. But yeah, I mean, a Charm could end up swinging a fight here, and obviously keeping the 15 streak is really big. It's really hard, in my opinion at least, in spots like this to balance rolling versus not rolling when you know you're on a really big win streak, but you also are really, really considering just pushing past 9. Ooh, the moon here I think is fantastic though, especially from that level 9 perspective. So now he's gonna have to try to figure out what his board is going to be. Thinking about putting like a Diana onto the board. Interesting. Well, we'll see. We'll see what ends up going down here. Also, was that, did the thing ever go onto Zerath? Maybe he benched Zerath and put him back in, and it went on to Zerath or something. That was weird that he even had to do that. But I mean, maybe he was just doing it as a TFT tick. Like, a lot of people just like to spam the selector on units just to make sure that they do it. But okay, so we are moving on our way to what is going to be the max cap version of the board, which is going to be getting out of a lot of these units and getting into stuff like the Zillion, so that you can get preservers in, which just tends to be a better late game cap. Shapeshifters just, yeah, I don't know, are not doing that much late game. So I think this makes a lot of sense. It'd be interesting to see where these other items end up going, just because, ooh, and a duplicator is really, really nice, especially for our level 9 idea. Yeah, I think you keep these items on TK for now, and then let's look at our last item here, because it could be a Zerath item, could also be like a Tom Kench tank item. I wonder what we're doing here, like why he's not making this, because he's not even, maybe his idea is he's gonna roll next round, and so why should I make an item this round? Oh, it's because he got Sticky Fingers Charm. Okay, he just picked that up. So he's gonna wait, see what his item is off Sticky Fingers, and then he's gonna take this. Now he gets a it's gonna be a Gwinsu Shojin. I mean, I guess it's Archangel's GS. That sounds a lot better, actually. All right, continue to roll down here. Pick up a 5 cost. Not really the one that we want, but it is Econ. There's another Karma, which is good. We don't really want to have to use this dupe onto Karma because we're so far into this game. And yep, GS Archangel sounds a lot better, just because Archangel is one of Zerath's best items. Gwinsu's not great on him because he spent so long casting, so I think this makes perfect sense. And the board's looking pretty good. It's kind of similar to the last Dishsoap VOD review I did. Ooh, and he opts to sell the mages because there is this idea, like I was talking about way early in the game, that that Nora is one of the best Blighting Jewel carries in the game. But I think Dishsoap's idea is that that's just a bit too far away with the amount of gold that he has. He wants to just look for his board here, which makes a lot of sense. And this board does look very, very nice. He gets the Diana in as kind of like a nice cap for a board like this that's playing around Arcana. So yeah, he's just playing Arcana, and then he's got the extra stuff in here. He's got the even the Bard and the and the Rumble in here for just a few extra traits. The Bard Rumble fits so well with the Arcana package just because it adds trait. That's why you see so many people playing with Varus and that kind of stuff. All right, we want our last Tahm Kench item here. Doesn't look like there's much, though. I guess we could take the Sterax if we really want to. We could also take a Diana item. I would probably just take Sterax and keep it on TK for a little while, probably remove it later. You could if you want to like greed for Biss and stuff like that. Ooh, does he want to take Judgment here? I mean, he's going to scout his opponents here, and he makes the call that his board's strong enough to do it. All right, let's see. But I have to imagine this goes on TK for now. And eventually, if we get a good TK item, just remove that, throw it onto Hecarim. Or if there's something else we have to play, I don't know if we get a random Briar in later. We'll see. This guy, Roboman, is also level 9. He is only... He's down 2 combat augments, so maybe our board can just get through it. I mean, this Blighting Jewel Karma is doing a lot of work. Yeah, looks like we win that. And that is the... Oh my god. The major... I always... What is it? Major something. That gives us all of that. He can tailor here, make sure that he gets some items. I was thinking onto frontline, but we'll see actually what he ends up wanting to do here. He ends up, okay, putting item onto Bard, and wait, where did the other... I think the other item went nowhere because he only had 5 units in? Is that how it happened? Maybe you need 6 for this one? He has 5 units in, and it just gives an item to Bard. Huh? He actually got scammed. I mean, I guess for that one, you need 6 units into Taylor. I guess that's good info to have. So in that spot there, we actually lose out on a full item, which is pretty bad, especially because we're on a 3 streak here. If we can keep this streak, it'd be really nice. I mean, will this fight be an item diff? I mean, honestly, if I feel like it could have been. I feel like this fight could have been a Diana item diff. If we had like a Crown Guard onto Diana, we might have won that fight. That's actually so tragic. But I don't think Dishsoap will feel too bad about it. He's level 950 gold here with the Karma too. He's got the dupe still sitting here, by the way, in case he ever finds another Xerath or a Diana or something. He can play for all of that. So it's the spot is looking not bad by any means. Ironclad Spirit here. I mean, it's good versus this guy for sure. I mean, I think it's cheap enough that you do take it, especially because you're looking at going 9 here. I mean, Adaptive Helm is certainly a better Tahm Kench item than this other stuff. You could think of going something... Whoa! What is this? These are Diana items. He's going to go Spark BT on the Diana, and then he's just going to have 2 item. It's we're playing binary airdrop here. I mean, I guess if we end up getting a Melio, and that would be good, but I don't think we're going to end up playing Melio here. And we have no mana items for the Melio, so interesting call from Dishsoap to just play for Giga Max Cap. He knows that he's going to get at least one item later down the line. All right, gonna roll a bit here, picks up the Xerath 2 and the Diana 2, 2 huge upgrades. Now he can maybe think about going 10, but smart Dishsoap to focus on the level 9 first. If he goes 10, there's actually like a chance that he doesn't hit all this stuff, especially because in this set you need to pick up charms and everything. He's looking at the Swain as a level up. I mean, it is Frost. We don't have a Shapeshifter on board, right? So it's only the 1 trait. It's just Frost onto this board. We are fighting a Jax 4, by the way, and we do it. This is a crazy lobby, actually. Dishsoap's board is so capped, but still, it's not like he's gonna win fights for free. Like this lobby is nuts. I'm gonna make sure the trench coat goes onto these solid frontliners here. That is just good, clean play from Dishsoap, and he is actually going to make the play to level here and say, you know what, I am going to get in the Frost here. It's another trait for the TK Arcana bonus, and it is also just Frost for a Diana 2, which is never bad. So this Diana is going to be a nice secondary carry onto this board, actually getting a big second cast off there. And yeah, we stomp this guy. Holy. I mean, I guess the other question would be like, what else would you play here? And in Dishsoap's head, he's like, yeah, nothing else. I mean, this board's good enough. All right, looking for either final Diana item or final Tahm Kench item. I mean, theoretically, Titans is not bad, and then the Redemption is also not bad, but okay, we win that fight. Just looking for good charms here, and maybe for something else to play. Yeah, Dishsoap's definitely keeping his options open. As far as what he wants to play here, he actually ends up playing the Incantor here. I mean, is this better than Frost here? I could see it being better than Frost here. It's AP for your entire board. It's you know, this Karma is absolutely stacking it really, really quickly. Yeah, I could see it. The only problem is Syndra is like a garbage unit, but I guess it's same to the Swain. I don't think Swain's doing a lot here either. But hey, we win that fight, and we got one more fight left versus RYT Shaco here. Oh, he finally finds the Hui, which I guess is the ideal. This guy's 2 synergies. He's Blaster and Frost, which really stacks up the Tahm Kench. That's hilarious. Okay, yeah, the Hui fits in beautifully. Golden Armor not going to do much. Continues to roll down. I'm actually surprised he rolled over the stars, because that one is pretty solid. Like, he could just lock for that one, get AP and shield for his entire team, and star up the random bad units. But okay, we are Doing pretty good though, looks like, versus this reroll board. Are they going to die here? 17 HP. They're definitely not dead, right? He upped down to just 3. So we got one more fight. Stage 7. What a long game, man. We are into this one for the marathon. But all right, let's see. I mean, but still, I've been blazing through this VOD. We're only 19 minutes in, so for you guys, it's light work. All right, he doesn't actually use his remover here, which is a small mistake, but I don't think he cares that much. We get that little bug there. I mean, there's the tower. That's perfect. There was that bug with Xerath that's been in the game forever. JG, Edge of Night. JG, Edge of Night. All right, it's going to be Edge of Night. He's keeping the tower 3rd row, actually. I see most people 2nd row it, or maybe I 2nd row it, and maybe it's just supposed to go 3rd row. Well, today we learned. I guess he likes it 3rd row, or maybe he just didn't care to move it because he thought he was going to win this fight, though. Ooh, this fight actually looks a lot scarier than the last one. Diana didn't get a big ult off, but man, this Karma just outputting insane damage with the Xerath, just sniping everybody down. An easy dub for Dishsoap, as usual, though. It's to be expected. This was a really fun game, though. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my Twitch. All my links down below. Still running Monopoly Go. Still your last day. Today's Sunday. Yeah, today's your last day to get discounted coaching on Metafy if you are interested. 15% off this whole weekend. You don't have to get coaching and use it tomorrow. You can get coaching, save it for next set. You can save it for set 15 if you want to. Who cares? But I will see you guys later. All right. Goodbye. Have a good Halloween. I mean, technically next weekend's kind of like Halloween weekend, but I know some people are doing stuff this. Okay, goodbye.